Welcome to English Stories with Alex. I'm thrilled to share inspiring language learning journeys that can transform your English skills. Whether you're a beginner or advanced learner, our channel offers practical tips and heartfelt stories to help you succeed. Today's special guest shares her remarkable experience using reading to master English. Hi everyone, I'm Sophie, and today I'm thrilled to share with you how my greatest passion has revolutionized my English learning experience. Reading isn't just a hobby for me, it's a doorway to new worlds, a source of endless joy, and most importantly, my personal English tutor available 24/7. When I first began my English journey, I felt completely overwhelmed. The vocabulary seemed impossible to memorize, and I would freeze up whenever I needed to speak. My confidence was practically non-existent, but everything changed when I discovered the transformative power of diving into English books. It was like finding a secret pathway to fluency that didn't feel like studying at all. Reading truly stands out as one of the most powerful methods for mastering a new language. When you're immersed in a story, you're absorbing vocabulary, sentence structures, and grammar patterns naturally, without the pressure and stress of formal lessons. It's like your brain is soaking up the language while you're simply enjoying yourself. What makes reading especially magical is the freedom to choose materials that spark your interest. Personally, I'm captivated by fantasy and adventure stories, so books like The Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland have become my trusted companions. These enchanting tales keep me turning pages eagerly, and before I know it, my English skills are flourishing. The more captivated I am by a story, the more effortlessly I absorb the language within its pages. The most incredible benefit of reading has been the exponential growth of my vocabulary. Each book introduces me to countless new words and expressions that gradually become part of my own language toolkit. In the beginning, I encountered many unfamiliar words, but I refused to let that discourage me. I kept my dictionary close and looked up words that seemed essential to understanding the plot. Over time, something magical happened. I started recognizing these words everywhere. For instance, when I was absorbed in a wilderness adventure, I encountered words like summit, canyon, wilderness, and expedition. Now these words feel like old friends whenever I see them. Even more exciting is when I discover the meaning of new words through context. If I read the little girl was ecstatic when she received her birthday gift and jumped up and down with joy, I can deduce that ecstatic must mean extremely happy. This natural learning process feels like solving a puzzle while enjoying a great story. One of the most frustrating aspects of learning English is tackling all those complicated grammar rules. However, reading has transformed this challenge into a much more intuitive process for me. When I'm engaged in a story, I observe how sentences are structured and how different tenses are used in context. In one captivating novel I came across, the detective is investigating the mysterious disappearance. She investigates difficult cases every month. From these examples, I naturally grasp the difference between the continuous tense and simple present tense. Now, when I write or speak, these patterns flow more naturally because I've seen them used authentically in stories I love. It's like having hundreds of grammar examples stored in my mind without having to memorize a single rule. It might sound counterintuitive, but my pronunciation has significantly improved through reading, even though it's primarily a silent activity. When I read, I mentally pronounce the words, creating an internal soundtrack of English in my head. Sometimes I challenge myself by reading passages aloud, especially with words that trip me up. I remember stumbling upon the word particularly in a mystery novel. At first, it was a tongue twister for me, so I searched for its pronunciation online and practiced saying it repeatedly. Particularly, particularly, particularly. Now it rolls off my tongue effortlessly. The combination of seeing words on the page and hearing them spoken, either in my mind or out loud, creates powerful connections that enhance both my reading and speaking abilities. Before I discovered the power of reading, speaking English filled me with anxiety. I constantly worried about making embarrassing mistakes or not finding the right words. Reading has been my secret weapon in building the confidence I desperately needed. Through books, I've observed countless conversations between characters, absorbing natural dialogue patterns and useful phrases. I've learned expressions like "I couldn't agree more." "That's exactly what I was thinking." And "would you mind explaining that again?" Now, when I'm in real conversations, these phrases come to mind automatically, giving me a sense of security knowing I'm expressing myself correctly. I'll never forget the first time I used one of these phrases in a real conversation. I met an exchange student who asked, "What do you do in your spare time?" Because I had encountered this question in my reading, I understood immediately and confidently replied, "I'm absolutely obsessed with reading fantasy novels." Her face lit up, and we connected over our shared love of books. That moment of successful communication felt absolutely triumphant. Finding the right reading level is crucial for maintaining motivation. When books are too challenging, frustration sets in quickly, but when they're at the perfect level, learning becomes joyful and sustainable. Some gems from my personal collection that have been perfect companions on my language journey include picture books like "The Day the Crayons Quit" and "Where the Wild Things Are," that combine simple language with expressive illustrations, providing helpful context clues. Short story collections have been perfect for building my reading stamina. Fables from Around the World offers bite-sized reading sessions with powerful messages that stick with you. Graphic novels like Smile or Dogman blend visual storytelling with manageable text, making them perfect for days when I want something engaging but not too demanding. Classic fairy tales retold, such as modern versions of Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid, offer familiar plots with accessible language and captivating magic that keeps me turning pages. Consistency has been the secret ingredient in my reading practice. I've incorporated reading into my everyday life by dedicating at least 45 minutes to reading after dinner each evening. This sacred time with my books is non-negotiable. When I encounter unfamiliar words, I jot them down in my special vocabulary journal, which I review weekly. I revisit beloved books regularly. Each rereading reveals nuances I missed before, and I experience the joy of realizing how much more I understand compared to my first reading. I record myself reading passages aloud about once a week. This practice helps me identify pronunciation patterns that need refinement and builds my speaking confidence. I join online book clubs for English learners where we discuss our reading experiences. Having a community to share insights with adds another dimension to my learning journey. I firmly believe that anyone learning English should embrace reading as their secret weapon, regardless of their current level. Even if you're just beginning, start with simple materials and be patient with yourself. Remember that language learning isn't a sprint, but a beautiful, transformative journey where each book represents progress. Reading infuses fun into the learning process. It's like embarking on countless adventures where you simultaneously discover new words, ideas, and worlds. The confidence it builds gradually spills over into your speaking and writing, transforming your entire relationship with the language. Reading has become my greatest passion because it makes English acquisition feel effortless and joyful. It continuously expands my vocabulary, clarifies grammar concepts, and boosts my speaking confidence, all while transporting me to incredible imaginary realms. If you're on your own English learning path, I wholeheartedly encourage you to give reading a chance. Remember that each book is a portal to a new dimension of language mastery, All you need to do is turn the first page and let the magic unfold. Thank you for joining us on English Stories with Alex. If you found Sophie's experience inspiring, please subscribe to our channel for more authentic stories and proven strategies to accelerate your English learning journey. Hit that notification bell to never miss our weekly uploads featuring real learners sharing their breakthroughs. Next week, we'll explore immersive listening techniques that can revolutionize your comprehension skills. Join our growing community of motivated learners by clicking the subscribe button below.